Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Today we want to finish, inshallah, chapter 23, and we're coming to the end of the chapter. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the chapter is asking a question, which is really one of the main questions each one of us has to ask himself. Why I'm here for? What I'm supposed to do? What is the purpose of this life? What is the purpose of this creation? So if you believe there is God, there has one of the examples he had is his creation. He has a sun, he has a moon, he has an earth. They all have a function, each one of them. The sun brings light. So everything has a function. Earth we live in, everything has a function. You look at your body, every single organ of your body has a function. Even every single cell has a function, does something. So what is the function? Why he created? So everything Allah created has a function. So why He created the human as a whole? What is the purpose? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after He did this comparison between the believers, disbelievers, the believers will be the winners, the disbelievers will be the losers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking a general question. Do you think I have created you? He's talking to the human race. I have created you with no purpose. And you think that you will not gonna come back to us? أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون. You think you've been created and you're not gonna come back to us? So here we have to understand what is the purpose of the creation. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, I created you with purpose. I didn't create you with no purpose. I created you with purpose. There's a purpose behind the creation. What is that purpose? Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have answered this question in different verses in the Quran. One of them, الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم. Number one, to test you. And we said before, if you are a student in any university, medical school, you have to go through a stream of exams, too many exams, to be able to, and then after that there is residency, to do the practical experience, to get the license after that you can practice on your own. Same exact thing. Allah have created the paradise, one of His utmost and best creation. In it, there is so many gifts. There is so many things even you cannot think about it. But before you enter there, you have to exemplify. You have to exemplify the actions, the traits of these people who will enter there or who will be living there. For example, you have a neighborhood. That neighborhood has mansions. In order for you to be able to enter to that neighborhood and be a resident there, you have to exemplify the traits, the proprieties of the people who live there. One of them, number one, you're going to have to afford it. So you have to be rich. You have to have the $15, $20, $30 million or your ability to able to enter there, that neighborhood. Same thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He have created the paradise. And before you enter there, you have to exemplify. You have to pass the tests, the exams in this life to show Allah that you're worthy, that you really have a big, high, your account. We said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke previously in this chapter about the scale, which is a point system, your account. How high is your account? If your account is heavy, you have to show Allah that you can afford it there, in the hereafter, in the paradise. You can afford to buy one of these mansions by your actions. By your actions, the sincerity of the actions. The actions are done for Allah, and Allah will test you to show, are you fake believer or you true believer? You believe truly in this religion, or you believe truly in Allah and His religion and Muhammad ﷺ, or you're fake. He keeps testing. So number one, to test us, to see are we worthy to enter that paradise. Number two, in order for you to do those and to be able to pass these exams, you have to do what? In the beginning of the chapter, first chapter of the Quran, He said, Ihdina iyyaka na'bud. Iyyaka na'bud. We worship. And the word worship in a comprehensive sense means obedience. So in order for you to be able to pass the test, you have to be obedient to God. Because once you're obedient, by default, we were created, and in there is some defects. Allah did them intentionally. Why? To test you. For example, a human is usually stingy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He told you, no, you have to give this amount of charity every year. The person all the time is selfish. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to test you and see how, when somebody's asking you a question, or when somebody need help, will you be able to help him or not? So many different traits. So number two is obedience. Without obedience, these negative traits will take you over. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, lower your gaze. Don't keep looking to other women. You have to marry. You cannot commit fornication. You cannot commit adultery. So He'll try to test you. Because by nature, by default, a man is attracted to a woman. So He want to test you. Are you be able to? So by obedient, by following the worship or doing the rituals, praying, fasting, charity, being, all these things, the remembrance of Allah all the time on your tongue, in your heart, protect you and cause you to be obedient. Number three, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the first chapter of the Quran, He told the malaika, angels, and also in the Quran in a different chapter, He said, Inni ja'alun fil ardi khalifa. Indeed, I will have a successor on earth. And then in a different chapter, Allah, He made successors from you on earth. So after everybody have the same operating system, after everybody becoming obedient to Allah, what will happen? Will be successors of Allah. What that mean? Successors means you will establish the kingdom of God. What does that mean? That you'll establish the traits, the attributes, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to establish on earth. Like what? Mercy. A human being become merciful towards his fellow human being. Love. A human being become loving. Kindness. A human being become kind. Justice. Everybody is treated equally. Everybody is treated the same. Everybody is treated regardless his status, his bank account, his holdings, his money, he's whatever. Everybody's equal. Everybody's the same. That's justice. It's only you be treated according to your actions. Whatever, if somebody commit a crime, yes, there is justice. Doesn't matter who you are or who you know. That's and after that, people start to stop committing sins. Once you start to stop committing sins, you'll see the blessing of God coming. Because that's what he revealed. Once the humans stop sinning, Allah will bring his blessings. So you'll see the world is a place which you enjoy to live. That's establishing the kingdom of God. Having paradise on earth. It can happen. Yes, it can happen. If everybody has the same belief, the same operating system, the same traits, the same love, the same kindness, the same justice, the same mercy, the same compassion. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, I create you for a purpose. And these are the purposes, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. And accordingly, each person will be judged according to his actions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, وَإِنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا. You think you're not going to come back? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us. Why is bringing this back up again? Because here is when I tell you, you're videotaped. I look at you. This exam is videotaped. You're not going to cheat. Because you see the camera right there. You know that somebody's looking at you. And then you're going to go out of that testing room and you're going to see the proctor, the one who is monitoring the exam. He'll meet you after. He'll meet you after. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you'll have some kind of fear, some kind of worry. You're worried. So you're not going to do the sins. You're not going to cheat. فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ